ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Today we begin yet another, we can call it Prakarana and Stotram, 2 in 1, called Kashi Panchakam, attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. Now, this is a set of 5 verses on Kashi. And Kashi, as we all know, is considered as the most ancient and the most sacred city in the whole world. And Bharata Desha itself, we know, is filled with Punyakshetrams. Yeah, not only Punyakshetrams in the form of the Dvadasha Jyotirlingas or the Pancha Mahabhuta Sthala, but also vrikshas and rivers and mountains and so on. Ashrams, all considered very, very sanctifying. So what is it that makes Kashi very special? So Kashi is considered to be the center of this multiverse, this Brahmanda itself. And the word Kashi stems from the root Kash in Sanskritam, and Kash means Kashate, Prakashate, light. So Kashi is the ancient name for Varanasi. Today is the city of knowledge. You know, Vara and Asi are 2 rivers which come together, and hence the name Varanasi. So Varanasi or Kashi used to be and still is a center for learning, for wisdom. So even today we find so many pandits and seekers and jnanis and scholars. They all meet in Kashi for debates and discussions and immerse themselves in the Vaidika Shastras. So it could be Nyaya, logic, Tarka, or Dharma Shastra, or Vedanta, or Vyakaranam, grammar. So even Adi Shankaracharya was instructed by his guru, Govinda Padacharya, to go to Kashi and write the Bhashyam, commentary on the Brahma Sutras composed by Veda Vyasa. And if you remember, we heard about this debate which Adi Shankaracharya had with the Grihastha Mandana Mishra, that was also in Kashi, and a week-long or 10-day-long debate on Karma versus Jnanam. And there, at the end of it, of course, Adi Shankaracharya, is declared victorious. And then Mandana Mishra becomes his disciple, this Sureshwaracharya, one of the 4 foremost disciples. So Kashi has always attracted seekers and mumukshus from all over the world. Then, of course, the reason why Kashi is so special is it is abode to Vishwanatha and Vishalakshi, Annapurneshwari, Kalabhairava, and of course the Gangama is also there. And in our Shastras, Kashi is also important because we have heard of the Kashi Yatra. Yeah. Now, Kashi Yatra is like any yatra. See, the word yatra, yatrayate iti yatra. That which protects one is a pilgrimage, is a true meaning of pilgrimage. What is a tirthaha? Yaha tarayati, that which helps us cross. Cross what? This bhavasagaraha. Cross the negativity and the all this conflict-ridden samsara. So we know how we all have undertaken yatras for this purpose only, for the inner purification, chitta shuddhi. So this Kashi Yatra, the Shastras say, is a great atonement kriya. Atonement kriya is a prize chitta karma. So for many actions that we may have deliberately done or non-deliberately done also, for the Papa Karma Phalam standing in my account, we undertake such a Kashi Yatra. And we know this Kashi Yatra, how we all go to Rameshwaram first, do the Samudra Snanam, and then the Puja, Anushtanam, Danam, Dharmam, then Abhishekam, then carry the water to, Vishwanatha, and again follow all the Vedic chanting, prayers, Anushtanam, and then come back to Rameshwaram, and then the whole, yatra is considered complete. Yeah. So the outer yatra or pilgrimage is supposed to bring us to the inner pilgrimage and goal of life, which is the goal of the Jiva Yatra. So Kashi Yatra is considered very, very purifying. Now, this Kashi Yatra is also very well known as an important ceremony in the Hindu wedding. I'm sure all of you know that. So in the Hindu wedding, what happens? On the wedding day, before the wedding can start, but after the Vedic, chanting, which symbolizes the end of brahmacharya. Now, when one has lived as a brahmacharya, then there are two options. Either one can enter the grahastha or one can become a naishtika brahmachari. That is, take to the life of renunciation and sannyasa. Both the options are there. So on the wedding day, there is the ceremony, fun moment for everybody, I think, when the boy, it takes an umbrella and wears his chappals and has a couple of books and symbolically sets off to Kashi. Yeah. And then, of course, the father of the girl approaches and requests the boy to return and says, please accept, my daughter as your Ardhangini, and both of you, you can both travel in this Jiva Yatra and be committed to Vaidika Dharma and be great contributors. So with marriage is a yoga, because with a companion, one is covering the Jiva Yatra. Whereas the sannyasis have to go alone, from the alone to the alone and all alone, it is said. And definitely a Grihastha Jivanam is called Jeshta Ashrama. It is the easier option for the majority. Then after the boy returns, then there is Pani Grahanam, and then, Mangalya Dharanam, and then Saptapadi and all that. So very beautifully, the wisdom of our Shastras is also integrated into our ceremonies and life situations. Yeah. Then Kashi is also considered a Moksha Puri. You may have heard there are 7 cities which are considered Moksha Daika. They are Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika Puri, Dwarika, Chaiva, Saptaite, Moksha Daika. So there are these, in the tradition, considered holy cities. Ayodhya, Rama Janmabhoomi, Mathura, Krishna Janmabhoomi. Maya is another word for Haridwara. Then Kashi or Varanasi. Then Kanchi, Kanchipuram in the south. And then Avantikapuri is Ujjain. And then finally Dwarika in the west. So all these cities are considered very purifying, and one undertakes a special yatra to these places. But Kashi, it is also said, Kashyam tu maranam muktihi. So the one who chooses to die, depart from this mortal world in Kashi, that is considered very auspicious. See, this is perhaps the only culture where one prepares for death, and death is also welcomed in an auspicious way. Then there are these other sayings like Arunachalam Smaranena Hi Muktihi or Tiruvarur Janmana Muktihi. So the one who is born in Tiruvarur district in the south again, near Manjakudi, will gain moksha. And just by thinking about Tiruvannamalai or Arunachala, moksha is assured. But can we take these statements literally? No. So these are all euphemisms in the sense that when we visit these cities, when I think of Arunachala, then I'm connected to what? Upadesha Sahasrai, Upadesha Saram of the great Maharishi. Then through the satsangas, through their life and teachings, I'm connected to knowledge. And that knowledge purifies my mind, and eventually Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam will give me the moksha prapti. So in that sense, it is said that these cities are all bestowing moksha on the jiva. So that is, the speciality about Kashi. You may have heard also that Kashi is perhaps the only place in the whole world where there is a guest house called Mukti Bhavan. How many of you have heard it? And I believe there is a nice movie also. I have seen that movie. Beautiful movie, I remember now. Mukti Bhavan. There is a Mumukshu Bhavan also, by the way. So, Mukti Bhavan is a guest house where one can check in order to leave this world. So, if one is in a terminal stage, then some family member or one can check in oneself for a period of 2 weeks. Yeah. And then, if that Antakala does not come, then we have to check out. And then you can return again. So it is almost free of cost, very, very nominal cost. Yeah. And so in that period, one is immersed, in Kashi, you know how it is. There are 80 plus ghats, ghats are those steps where you can go down and have a holy dip. And then there are aratis done every day. There are lots of stotrams being chanted. So in that atmosphere, one chooses to die. I had a neighbor here in Secunderabad, just my next door neighbor, an elderly lady. So a few years ago, she would pack a few things and tell everybody she's going to Kashi for this purpose. And after a few months, she would return because, Antakala, nobody knows when it is going to be. Then after a few years, my neighbor informed us that she has gained Videha Mukti in Guntur. So where the body will drop, we cannot tell. And at the end of Tattva Bodha, we saw that, no? Kashyam tanum tyajatu athava shvapachasya gehe. So the jnani can choose to drop his body in a dog eater's home, that is Chandala's home, or in the sacred city of Kashi, it doesn't matter. He still, has gained moksha. So moksha is not about where one chooses to drop the body. Yeah, moksha is that the knowledge of who I really am. So by being connected to these Vidyasthanams, Ayodhya, Dwarika, Avantika, Puri, all these places, we have, one is connected and has the satsangas, and one gains the moksha. Moksha prapti is there. Then whoever has been to Kashi would definitely have taken a tour on the boat. And then from there, we see the beautiful ghats. There are supposed to be 80 plus ghats in Varanasi. And they all have a special significance and story behind it. Harishchandra Ghat, Ganga Ghat, then Dasha Ashwamedha Ghat. That is the ghat where Brahmadev is supposed to have performed hundreds of Ashwamedha yagas. Yeah, and Harishchandra Ghat is connected with a story, and hence it's a cremation ground. Then there is the biggest and most famous ghat, which most of you may know, is the Manikarnika Ghat. Yeah, Manikarnika Ghat, means money. What does money mean? A pearl, a gemstone. And Karnika is an earring. So Manikarnika is the pearl earring. And what it refers to is, Manikarnika is considered the goddess of that area, the Manikarnika Ghat area of Kashi. Now you all recall the story of Dakshayani, the daughter of Daksha, and how she immolates herself, gives herself up gives a prana in the Yaga Kunda because Shiva is not honored, rather he is insulted. And then Shiva takes his Rudra Rupa and does this Rudra Tandava carrying her body. And as the story in the Purana goes, the various parts of the Devi, her jewels, and her body parts, they fall all over Bharat in 50 or 51 places, and which are called Shakti Pithas. I have been to a few. Some of us have been to Kunjapuri, yeah, near Rishikesh. And then there is a place, Kangra in the Himalayas. Kangra means Kangan, where the bangle fell. So this Manikarnika is where the pearl earring of the Devi fell. So it's considered a great Shakti Pitha where people worship the Devi. So that is the Manikarnika Ghat, and also very famous. So in these verses now in the Kashi Panchakam, we're going to see that all these auspicious things, these tirthas like Ganga, Kashi, Uma Devi, Prayag, Gaya, they all, no doubt, they exist in the world, in Bharatadesha, but they are all within our own body. And how we are going to experience them is the content of these verses. So let us see the first verse now. Mano nivritti paramopashantihi. Mano nivritti paramopashantihi. Sati Satirthavarya Manikarnika cha Satirthavarya Manikarnika cha Jnana Pravaha Vimaladi Ganga Jnana Pravaha Vimaladi Ganga Sakashikaham Nijabodha Rupa Sakashikaham Nijabodha Rupa Mano nivritti paramopashantihi satirthavarya manikarnika cha jnana pravaha vimadadi ganga sakashikaham nijabodha rupa. So you see the second line at the end, last quarter, we have the chorus, like in Nirvana Shatkam, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Here it is Sakashikaham Nijabodha Rupa Sakashikaham Nijabodha Rupa. The first three verses will have that. Sakashika Aham Nijabodha Rupa. Now here in this verse, Kashi is called by Kashika. Same meaning. Just like, Bala, a girl, is also called Balika. So there is a suffix ka and it means the same. Kashi or Kashika. So that Kashika aham. So I am the Kashi. Yeah, that Kashi Kshetram is I. How can I be the Kashi? Nijabodha Rupa. Nijabodha Rupa is in the form of pure awareness. That Atma Tattvam, Atma Jnanam, I is the Kashi, is the real Kashi, is the light of pure awareness. Now let us look at the first line. Mano nivrittihi parama upashantihi. Sa tirthavarya manikarnikacha. Mano nivrittihi means the mind that has turned back away from the world. Mano nivrittihi. That is a peaceful mind, a peaceful, calm and settled mind that has turned back towards its source. Yeah, that is the Kashi talked about here. So, mano nivrittihi. Then, so such a mind that is free from ragadveshas, free from the krodhagni, from the Kama Agni, the fire of burning desires, Raga Dveshas and Kama Krodha, is called Mano Nivrittihi, the peace. Then what kind of peace is it? Parama Upashantihi. There are, we always experience peace now and then, is it not? When the storm subsides, there is peace. When some, burning desire is fulfilled, there is peace. When I go to sleep, there is peace for everyone, not only us. Yeah. But this peace is disturbed when we wake up. When we wake up, the problems return. So when another desire comes in the mind, again the mind is disturbed. When the storm returns, again the mind is disturbed. So that is not the Parama Shantihi. So here the first verse says, Mano Nivrittihi Parama Upashantihi. Now Upashantihi means completely extinguished. So in that mind where this raging fire, Kama Agni, is completely extinguished. Yeah, how is it going to be extinguished? By the fire of knowledge, by the jnanam. So Mano Nivrittihi Parama Upashantihi is referring to the absolute peace that a jnani enjoys. Yeah, and not the peace that comes and goes. Now, that Sa Tirtha Varya, so such a state of peace. What does the author say? Acharya say, Sa Tirtha Varya, that is the holiest Tirtha Kshetram. Holiest Tirtha Kshetram, and we just heard about Manikarnika. So that peaceful state of the mind that abides at its source is the true Manikarnika. Now, Manikarnika is also very famous for another reason, and that is, it is a huge cremation ground, and where the bodies are cremated non-stop. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. I have been to Kashi twice, and once when I took a boat tour, then I could see that there is one ghat where the fires just don't stop. Continuous, you can see as though huge arati is going on there. Blazing fires. Why? Because of this reason, all the bodies to be cremated are all queued up. And then, they need time to deal with every cremation one by one. So that is Manikarnika, and it is believed that Lord Shiva, Mahadeva, whispers the moksha mantra in the ear of those departed jivas. Now, we cannot prove it, neither can I disprove it. So, this is very much in our culture, and then I just accept it with an open mind. So, Manikarnika Ghat is famous for the cremation, cremation nature. And so here also, in the mind that is steadied, that is pure, that is free from raga dvesha, free from the binding karma, what has happened? Cremation has happened. Cremation of what? Of the ahankara. Now, ahankara is the I notion. Yeah, that this is who I am. This belongs to me. This is mine. And mamatvam, this is for me. So, the Vedanta says that the ahankara on waking up then identifies and the whole world is there. So then the I, me and my notions, what do? They will create a whole world. Some things I like, some things I don't like. And I chase some things for fulfillment and others I avoid, I do not want. So here, why is such a peaceful, steady mind called Manikarnika? Because the root cause of problem, this ahankara, Swamiji calls it the villain. The villain is now cremated. Now, does not mean the ahankara becomes non-existent. No. The ahankara is very much there, but badhita ahankara. Badhita ahankara means Ishwarized, sattvic. It's very calm, it is subdued, it's functional. So that is why the first line talks about how the state of the mind which is resolved, and such a mind would be the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari mind. The mind that has viveka and vairagya and seeks the source, that would be the mano nivrittihi, and which enjoys the parama shantihi, and that is likened to the Manikarnika Ghat. and in which this Rajasic and Tamasic ego has been offered in the fire of knowledge and cremated. Yeah, that is the significance of Mani Karnika. Then the second line is Jnana Pravaha Vimala Adi Ganga Sa Kashi Aham Nijabodha Rupa. Now, in such a mind that is purified, we have to bring in all the aspects of the Gita. That is the Karma Yoga, Ishwar Arpanam. What does it do to Ahankara? Dilute it. Yeah? Naham Karta. I am doing this for Ishvara. So already Ahankara is thinned out. And then through Bhakti, Upasanas, the Ahankara, ego, mind is steadied and purified further. But then by the grace of the Guru, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, only the Ahankara can be cremated, can be burnt in the fire of knowledge. Yeah. So then in such a mind, what will happen? The Jnana Pravaha, the flow of thoughts. That is, where will my waking state flow towards? Will it flow towards the external world of Nama Rupas? For desire fulfillment, chasing worldly objects? No. The Jnana Pravaha will be Vritti Pravaha, the flow of thoughts towards the Atma, the source. And that flow of thoughts. Now, what is the nature of these flow of thoughts? Aham Purnaha, Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Aham Ajaha, Amritihu, Avinashi, Avikari, so on. All these words. When the mind becomes Atma Samstam, Gita, Atma Samstam Manakritva Nakinchidapi Chintaye. The mind that goes externally, outward, if I get that, I'll be happy. If I avoid that, I'll be at peace. No. Now, the mind in which the Ahankara has been as good as cremated will flow internally towards the source. That is the Jnana Pravaha talked about here. That is the Nivrittihi. The person who is called Avritta Chakshuhu in Kathopanishad by Yam. So this Brahma Vritti, Akhandakara Vrittis, we have come across that in Atma Bodha. Akhandakara Vritti is when the mind turns towards the Atma, and that Jnana Pravaha is what? Vimala Adi Ganga. So the Ganga, take the Ganga, it emerges in the Himalayas. And then it courses through the cities and mountains and plains. And then finally, it merges into the Ganga Sagaram. Yeah. So too, the mind is likened, or the Jnana Pravaha is likened to the Ganga, Adi Ganga. And which is Vimala. Vimala means without malam, pure. The pure, untainted by Raga Dvesha, Kama Krodha. Now the mind is just seeking to abide in the source. And that is the Ganga, Vritti Pravaha. That is very purifying. Then Sa Kashi Aham Nijabodha Rupa. And so I am truly the Kashi. Yeah, I am the Kashi. I am the light of pure awareness. Nijabodha Sarupaha. The last shloka of Atma Bodha, Adi Shankaracharya has said something very similar. Yaha Swatmatirtham bhajate saha sarvavid sarvagataha amritaha bhavet. So the Jnani chooses to dip in the Jnana Ganga, in that innermost kshetram, that is Atma Tirtham. So no need for advanced reservations and crowds, crowding up, queuing up for darshanam. Yeah, so the Jnani just dips in the Jnana Ganga within his own mind. And that such a person, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, is the Kashi. So that last line is, that Kashi I am. I am the Kashi, that is in the form of pure awareness. I am the light of pure awareness. And what is the nature of that Atma Tattvam is further explained in the next few verses. We will go to the next verse now. Number 2. Yasyamidam कल्पितमिन्द्रजालम् यस्यामिदं कल्पितमिन्द्रजालं चराचरं भाति मनोविलासं चराचरं भाति मनोविलासं सच्चित्सुखैका परमात्मरूपा सच्चित्सुखैका परमात्मरूपा साकाशिकाहं निजबोधरूपा साकाशिकाहं निजबोधरूपा. The first verse was Tvampadam. You all know Tvampadam is about the Jiva. Now here, this second verse is more about Tatpadam, about the Ishvara and his Shakti. So what do we see here, this verse here? Yasya, yasyam. Now, let's look at the last quarter remains the same. Sa kashika aham nijabodha rupa, which is nothing but Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. No? I am not this Deha, I am not this Jiva, I am not even Shivadasaha or Krishnadasaha or Ramadasaha, but I am Shiva, I am Rama, I am Krishna in essence, in its purest essence. So Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham is expressed here as Sakashika Aham Nijabodha Rupa. Now, Sa Kashika is feminine, right? Feminine Shabda for consciousness we saw in Driptasha as Chitihi. Yeah. Now, Supreme Reality has no gender. For that matter, even our minds have no gender, right? Gender pertains only to Sthula Sharira. Sa Kashika, that Supreme Reality, Yasyam. Now come back to the first word. Yasyam means in that Kashi. In that Chaitanya Swarupa Atma, Bhati. The first line has the verb Bhati. Bhati means to shine. Yeah? Now, shine means what? In Vedanta, we use the word shine in the sense of revealed. Yeah? So the world comes to light. The world is known. The world is revealed in that Kashi. Yasyam. That's our Kashika, Yasyam, the word Bhati. Now, where is this word world? World is not there. Instead, there is a Idam. Yasyam Idam Bhati. Idam means this. Yeah, we all know that. Idam means this. But what does this mean? Now, this Idam Shabda, if you've noticed, comes in many places in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishads. Yeah. Even our concluding mantra, Purnamadah Purnamidam, yeah, Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagatapyakta Murtina Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Vidhiyate Avinashitu Tat Vidhi Yena Sarvamidam Idam Tatam Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Idam. So, idam is this. When can you say this? Only when something is an object of perception. Something can be known. Something can be experienced. So, idam in the first line refers to idam jagat. And the jagat includes my body, mind, senses. Whatever can be drishyam, can be perceived is idam. So, Yasyam, in that Kashi that I am, Nijabodha Rupa, that Atma Tattvam, Idam Bhati. So, the whole world, including my body and my mind, they shine. Shine means they are experienced, they are evident, they come to light, they are revealed. Then, something more is talked about Idam. So, Idam Jagat Bhati. But what kind of world? Kalpitam, Indrajalam, Manovilasam. 3 more words are there. Very beautiful words. Characharam also. Now, Characharam is easy. So, the world is filled with Chara and Achara. So, that which is, Chetana Vastu, like us, we all are talking, laughing, eating, moving human beings, Chara. Then Achara, like the table, mountain, trees, they don't move. Achara. So all of them are included in Idam. Yeah. This Chara Charam Idam Jagat Bhati, where Bhati? yasyam. In that Kashi, that I am. Then what else about idam? Idam is kalpitam indrajalam. You know, indrajalam is the word in Sanskritam for magic. Now, we are familiar with this analogy also. How the magician will pull out rabbits and roses and even people and sparrows from a hat or behind the curtain. Indrajala. And so here, Acharya says that the whole world is kalpitam. Kalpita means imagined by the mind. It is a projection of the mind. Kalpitam, Indrajalam, it's a net. No? Net, worldwide net. World Wide Web is also a net. So, Indrajalam, which is Mano Vilasam. You know, Vilasa means playfulness. So, Mano Vilasam is the whole world in Vedanta is considered to be a projection of the mind. It is a play of the mind. Now, this we can only understand if you have studied some Vedanta before. Yeah. Now, this world, that is the waking world right now. Yeah. Where did it go in when I went to sleep? Back to the mind, we would say. Yeah. When I went to sleep, then what happened? Another world came. A dream world appeared. Where did that appear from? Again from the mind. Then when I'm in deep sleep state, where did both the worlds go? Back to the mind. The mind is switched off. So that means when the mind is there, waking world is there. When the mind is there, dream world is there. But when the mind is not there, no world. No time, space, world, no people, no profession, no attachments, no family, no complaints, no bondage. So, the first line is talking about that idam. Just as the magician pulls out all these things, you know, and entertains an audience, so too our mind projects the world. How does it do that? In the waking state, it does that by the power of Maya. When there is an I notion, when I get up in the morning, what do? I recollect, right? I am at my home. Today is Friday. I have to do this and do that. I, and then me, and then mine. And then what happens? From that ahankara, the whole world returns. The whole samsara vriksha is back in place. And similar logic in the dream. The dream also, the mind by the power of Maya projects a dream world, even though I'm asleep. Yeah. And in the deep sleep state, no world is there. So that is why here it is said that idam jagat is kalpitam. It is mano vilasam. Now, you know, if I ask the question, the world, is it really existing outside of me? Is the pen outside of me? Is the table, the flowers, whatever I see outside of me? The Vedantic answer will be no. They are all experienced in the mind, in the form of a thought. Pen vritti, fruit vritti, tree vritti, person vritti, and so on. So the whole world is experienced in the mind. Yeah, so that is the perception happens in the mind in the form of cognitions, vrittis, and hence it is kalpitam. So it is inside out. Mayyeva sakalam jatam, mayyeva sarvam pratishchitam, mayyeva sarvam layam yati. Kaivalya Upanishad mantra. That is, from my mind is born the world, and the mind sustains the world. And when I sleep, or I'm in samadhi or deep meditation, the whole world goes back to the mind. So am I not like the magician creating my world and withdrawing the world? And so that world shines, bhati yasyam, in me. So in me, and I am the Paramatma Rupa. Now the second line is describing the Satchit Sukha Eka Paramatma Rupa Sa Kashika Aham Nijabodha Rupa. So what is the nature of that Kashi? Sukham, Sat Chit Sukham. And this we know Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha. Sat is pure existence. Chit is Jnana Swarupaha. And Sukham is Anandam. You know, in Drik Drishya, tomorrow we are going to see a similar set of 3 words. Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Asti means that which is. Bhati, that which shines in my awareness. And Priyam, that which is dear to me. So we can take any object like a flower. Flower exists because there is pure existence. And flower is known to me, Chit. And flower is Priyam. It is dear to me. Sat, Chit, Asti, Bhati, Priyam, or Sat, Chit, Sukha. And the second line explains that that is the Paramatma Rupa. That is the Paramatattvam. And Sa Kashika Aham Nijabodha Swarupa. And that is Eka. Now, Eka means Advitiyam, the one without a second. Yeah, so if you have many pots, you know, there is only one clay, but there are many pots. So all the Namarupas, all the infinite worlds and the lokas, they all shine in me, who is the light of pure awareness. Sakashikaham Nijabodha Rupa. Let's read this verse once again. Yasyamidam kalpitam indrajalam characharam bhati manovilasam satchit sukhaika paramatma rupa sakashikaham nijabodha rupa. Let's go to the 3rd verse now. कोशेषु पञ्चस्वधिराजमाना कोशेषु पञ्चस्वधिराजमाना बुद्धिर्भवानी प्रतिदेहगेहे बुद्धिर्भवानी प्रतिदेहगेहे साक्षी शिवः सर्वगतोऽन्तरात्मा साक्षी शिवः सर्वगतोऽन्तरात्मा साकाशिकाहं निजबोधरूपा साकाशिकां निजबोधरूपा. Again, same last quarter is repeated. Sakashika aham nijabodha rupa. So now, the first line says, Kosheshu panchasu adhirajamana. Let's break the sandhis. Kosheshu panchasu. Easy, in the 5 koshas. And we all know this very well from Tattva Bodha, Kathopanishad. What are the 5 koshas? The sheets. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya koshas. Yeah. So they are the panchasu kosheshu. In the 5 koshas, yeah. Adhirajamana. Adhirajamana means the one who shines, the one who presides like a Raja. Adhirajamana. And is it only in some special people, some special jnanis or mahatmas? No. Pratideha gehe. In every human body. In fact, not even human, in every jiva. Every jiva, pratideha, in every body, geha. Now, what is geha? Geha means home or abode. And we have seen this analogy also before, that I am not this body, rather I indwell the body. The body is like a leased apartment, rented flat, and for a certain allotted lifespan. So that is the Deha Geha. And we have seen this, how important this Deha is. Yeah, this Deha is a Kshetram. Yeah, it helps me to fulfill the 4 Purusharthas. Yeah, and it guides me through those short-term and long-term goals. So, Kosheshu Panchasu Adhirajamana Pratideha Gehe. Let's go to the next line. I will come to the Buddhirhi Bhavani. Then Sakshi. And who is it, the one who is that inner ruler? the one presiding over these Panchakoshas, that is Shivaha. Sakshi Shivaha Sarvagataha Antaratma. Antaratma is the innermost core being. That is who? That is Shivaha. Shivaha, and here you can make a correction, Sarvagataha. Sarvagataha means Sarvatra Gachati, that which is everywhere. What does that mean? That means that which is limitless, all pervading. It's pervading Chara and pervading Achara, and it is the pure consciousness. And that is the Sakshi. Now, Sakshi means witness. Yeah, the witnessing presence. So, witness of what? Witness of the world, witness of karma, karma sakshi, manas sakshi, deha sakshi, jagat sakshi. Like the sun, often to explain the sakshitvam of Atma, we take the example of the sun. The sun shines, and in its light, the whole world is illumined. Yeah. Then in the world, all kinds of activities take place: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. There is all the three avasthas: jagrat, swapna, sushupti. Pancha Mahayagnas are going on. Theft is also going on. But the sun, is the sun responsible for any activity? Will it get praised for a punya karma and punished or blamed for a papa karma? No. It is the sakshi. So that witnessing presence, the sakshi, which is indwelling adhirajamana in the panchakoshas, is Shivaha. And Shivaha here, there is a Pauranika image, that we often see with the serpent and, the moon adorning the matted locks. But that is just a symbolism. Shiva here means the auspicious, pure consciousness. Shivaha, Sakshihi. And that Sakshi is Sarvagataha. Sarvagataha is all pervading, which is everywhere. And Antaratma. Antaratma is not spatially meant here, but it is Ati Sukshma. You see the outermost kosha, Annamaya will be the grossest. Then every time you do this Panchakosha Viveka, that is, I'm not the body because I observe the body. Driktisha Viveka, we have to apply here. Then Manomaya, Pranamaya. Prana also I can feel and experience. Then Manas and then Buddhi. And then Anandamaya also, I know that I was in the Anandamaya kosha and deep sleep. So one has objectified all the koshas and their states and their attributes and their qualifications, their gunas. Who is a Sakshi? That Sakshi is Shivaha. That is Sakashika Aham Nijabodha Rupaha. Then coming back to the first line, there is one word, and that is Kosheshu Panchasu Adhirajamana Buddhihi. Now, Buddhi is who? Bhavani. And Bhavani is Uma Parameshwari. Uma is the name for cosmic intelligence, or who is the Shakti, Prakriti, who is Maya. And that, so that is to be understood by the word Buddhi. Bhavani, the consort of Shiva. And we can all connect this shloka with Shiva Manasa Puja. Atma tvam girijamatihi prana shariram griham pujate vishayopabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi. Shiva Manasa Puja by same Adi Shankaracharya says, hey Shiva, you are Atma, and my matihi, my understanding, my intelligence, which does this jnana pravaha flowing towards you, is Girija or Bhavani. And the body, Deha is what? Shariram Griham is your temple, your home. And all the, sense organs, they are your Shivaganas, bringing in offerings of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha. My sleep, whenever I sleep, it is your Samadhi. When I walk, it is Pradakshina to you. Whatever I speak, it is your Stotram. Yat yat karma karomi tattadakilam shambho tavaradhanam. That is also, we can say, is the essence of this shloka. Then another beautiful shloka one can connect is Dehaha Devalayah, Jivaha Devas Sanatanaha. Tyajet Ajnana Nirmalyam, Soham Bhavena Pujayet. So what is the Deha really? The Shariram is Devalayah, temple. And Jiva is Sanatana. Jivaha Devaha Sanatanaha. Jiva is eternal. There is no birth or death for the Jiva. Then Ajnana Nirmalyam Tyaje. In a temple, when you go for the very first early morning darshanam, there will be a Nirmalyam darshanam. So what will the pujari do? Remove the wilted flowers, clean everything. And then we have the pure darshanam before the alankaram, considered very auspicious. So here also it is said that this dehatma buddhi, the notion, this is me, this is mine, and which expands into this world of Dvaita buddhi, that is the nirmalyam, that is the wilted flowers. So may one what? Tyajet. May one by viveka negate. Neti neti. So I am not this body, none of the koshas, yeah. And applying that viveka, one comes to the understanding, I am Sakshi. Panchakoshatitaha. I am other than the 5 koshas. That is the meaning here as Sakshi. Antaratma Sarvagataha. Limitless Sakshi. Ramana Maharishi would often tell his devotees and people who visited the ashram, just contemplate, are you in Tiruvannamalai or is Tiruvannamalai in you? So there is that shift in attitude and perception, like the pot, Now, the clay pervades the pot. Yeah, the pot is in clay. So that is why Adi Shankaracharya says, Idam Sarvam Jagat Bhati. And when I see that Sa Kashika, when the understanding is there, I am that Kashika, then all the bodies are shining in the light of that pure awareness, that is Kashika. So, here, Buddhihi Bhavani is to be understood as the Maya Shakti. And we know that there are, twofold Maya Shakti. One is Avidya Maya Shakti, one is Vidya Maya Shakti. So when mind is Maya really. So when the mind is caught up in Rajas and Tamas, what will happen? Agitated, turbulent mind will go towards the world, extroverted in nature. And the same mind, when it becomes Sattvic, then the Vidya Maya will lead the mind to its master, that is the source, and Sa Kashika Aham Nijabodha Rupaha. So that is, how Acharya says that by Viveka, Drigdrishya Viveka, we can apply right here. I am the Drik. Drigeva nata drishyate. I can never be objectified. But Sakashika aham nijabodha rupa. And all that is drishyam is negated. Negated means not discarded, but understood as dependent. The world is dependent on me. There is no world independently existing. I give reality to the world. So the more I give reality to people, to places, to objects, to desires, what's going to happen? Indrajalam. I will be caught up in this Indrajalam and then phas jayenge. I will be caught and then I have to pray for Vidya Maya to release me from this bondage and then come out of it. So these verses are very, very contemplative and beautiful. So here in the 3rd verse, Acharya says, I am that city of Kashi in the form of my own pure awareness, and I am the witness of everything, all pervading witness, Sarvagataha Sakshi, and the inner Antaratma Shivaha, and my Matihi, intellect, is shining as your consort Bhavani, as the divine mother, Prakritihi. And this is the truth of everybody. This is the truth of everybody in every Pratideha Gehe. It's shining in every body as the Kshetraknyaha. So now the next two verses we'll do the next time. And so in these verses are incorporated that Viveka. So the first verse talked about the Shanti, the peaceful state of the mind. And that is when one has studied the mind, purified it by sadhanas, and exposed the mind with Shraddha for a length of time to the Shastras. It is like we saw in Atma Bodha also, how the gold is purified. The gold has been put in a molten furnace, and then the impurities are removed. So that is the impurities have to go away, and then the gold remains shining, and that is the light of pure awareness. Yeah, very contemplative verses. So this is called often a Nididhyasana. Okay. The remaining two verses we will see on Tuesday, and we'll conclude on that day also. So the next two verses, beautiful play of the words. It is said, next verse, as you can see, it is Kashi, Kashyam hi kashate Kashi. Let me see if I can display it. Kashyam hi kashate Kashi, Kashi sarva prakashika. Sa Kashi vidita yena tena prapta hi kashika. So using the same root kash, so many words, 7 words are derived. One is the physical Kashi. Physical Kashi means the city of Kashi. Yeah, the city of Kashi. But then the subtle Kashi, subtlemost Kashi is my own Nijabodha Swarupaha. So that Kashi in which the city of Kashi shines, Yena Vidita, one who knows that Kashi, Tena Prapta hi Kashika. The Kashi will be gained by that person alone. So Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So the one who knows the inner Kashi really gains the Kashi. So here, we see how that, for a mumukshu or a mumukshu, tivra mumukshu, for a jnani, there is no need to go to any tirtha sthalas anymore, because the ultimate tirtha is right here. The mind, there is the flow of Ganga, and the Kashi is the Shivaha within, and the intelligence is Bhavani. And in the last verse, it will be said that there is the Sangam also, Sangam of Prayagraja, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnanam, Ishvara, Guru, Atma Kripa. When they all come together, it's the confluence of the rivers Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So that we will see the next time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.